caries majority of the time will be forming around maybe here and around here. So you want that nice C shape, so quite similar to the sort of shape of the restorations you were doing for your Site 2s. So almost sort of like a capital C sort of shape. So we want you guys to be mindful not to start too centrally, because then if you start too centrally, you get that elongated C shape. And that's not really what we want you guys to do, okay? Now, it always depends, your cavity will always be dictated by how big the caries is in real life, okay? So today we've got, Kathy's made you some images which show you the extent, okay? If you're unsure, have a chat with your tutor if you need further clarification, okay? So, this would all be done if it's on an upper from the palatal aspect, okay? So you're always making sure. So remember when we did the interproximals, we started perpendicular to the occlusal surface. Now you're perpendicular to the palatal surface. So you're going to be utilizing a lot of indirect vision. It is a really, you know, everyone is tempted to just do this and stuff your back up. I did that.
I got that on film.
Yeah. I remember Margie used to say to me, Robert, you think that I can't see you doing that? I can see you doing that. So we see more than you think, okay? So you want to be drilling in and then sort of breaking through that interproximal wall. Now again, you do have to be mindful not to hit the tooth next door. So if you're unsure, you might want to use adjacent protection, like a matrix band, something like that. Now, the easiest way to determine whether or not you're passed through the contact point interproximally. So remember how last semester, if anyone had me, I would say, I want you to sort of look for that little gap between the two teeth. If you can see rubber dam, because it'll be green because it's flossed interproximally, then you know you're pretty much through that interproximal wall. It's quite similar, but the major difference is today, because there's no rubber dam here, it'd be up here, what you're looking for is literally a little bit of light. If you can see a little crack of space in between the two teeth, then you know you've gone deep enough interproximally that you've broken through that wall properly and you've involved the contact point. All right? Now, for today's session, because it's your first time doing them, my best advice would probably to start at the contact point when you start drilling and then make your outline. A lot of people, they'll see the contact point and then they start too far down or too far up, and then you can compromise the shape of your restoration and it tends to look more like that. Alright, so today try and start at the contact point and then start adjusting it from there, and then that way you probably will find that there'll be less mistakes and things like that, okay? Because today's first day back in sim, a bit rusty, everyone's got to get back to the use of things. Is there any questions at all, guys, about anything we've talked about today? Alright, cool. Well then I'll get you guys, head back to